Alright guys, so now that we've worked through many of the steps of our process, we've done empathy, we've done define, we're kind of halfway through ideate, it's time that we wrap this one up so we can move on to prototyping soon. So in our little project guides, we've already done our empathy notes, our observations, and we used all that information to kind of boil it down into one solvable challenge. We identified an opportunity to create something new for our end users. If you flip the page, we spent a lot of time as well working on brainstorming some possible solutions for our project challenge. So you should have had between 5 to 7 ideas sketched out in this area. What I'm going to have you guys do first, if you have not done so already, is share those ideas with everyone sitting at your table. Remember that we labeled all of the unique features that were on our ideas. So make sure that you explain all those unique features, how they work, and how they would help solve the how might we statement. Once you've shared out all of your ideas, you need to start thinking about which ones best solve the question or the how might we statement that we created based off of what we observed from our end users. If you end up finding that there's more than one idea, there are multiple ideas that you could use, then what I would recommend you do is talk about how you can combine them into one solid proof of concept, into one solid idea. What I'm going to have you do as you do that is actually sketch it out on your table rather than on the paper. We'll use this as a final copy. You're just going to sketch out the idea on your whiteboard table so that way you can at least work through all the different features that it might include. Once you've done that, I'm going to have you guys do a little bit of like research to make sure that the idea does not currently exist. Remember, that's one of our key rules, is that the idea cannot currently exist. Once you've verified that the idea does not exist, we can go ahead and start filling out this section here. Now on the right hand side it says proof of concept including specifications, materials, and labeled features. We actually have some of the materials that we're going to fill in over here. What you're going to do in this space, and everyone's going to do it, is draw the final concept. Now if I were to use an example like grocery shopping and I were to try to invent some new type of cart, I might have my cart in here. But I would actually do this to scale, so I would recommend you guys do this to scale so that way you have all the specific measurements before we start designing. Maybe a handle there, and then let's say that this is a hover cart. Ooh, uses magnetic force to repel itself. I don't know, right? So I'd probably write hover cart so that way I know what it is. Label the unique features, right? If we had like magnetic force down here, whatever that might look like. But I'm going to draw this out to scale. Remember that to scale, you have to have some sort of a measurement key down on the bottom. So for 1 inch, what would that relate to? So 1 inch for me might be 1 inch equals 1 foot. I don't know. Something like that. But I'm going to label all the unique features, and I'm going to put all of my specifications on here so that way I know all of the dimensions. Over here on the left-hand side, it says description of concept. So in here, I'm going to write the description of what this thing is. This is a hover cart that does blah, 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 whatever it might be. For the components list, I'm going to have you brainstorm, make a list of all of the things that you would need in order to build your actual prototype. Remember that 25% of it has to be 3D printed, but the rest of it doesn't have to be. So I might look over here and say, well, I'm going to need a lot of metal, I'm going to need some wire, I'm going to need some magnets, you know, whatever it might be. I'm going to make kind of a shopping list. And then at the very bottom where it says list of materials, actually I totally lied. I lied, guys. Well, I'm not going to refilm this. So we're going to move that down here. The components feature, the components is where we're going to list out the individual components that would be included on this. Let's say that, for example, I had an app, like a place for my phone and an app that gave me details about the grocery store that was built into the hover cart. I might say we might have the actual cart, we'd have the 3D printed, I don't know, phone holder, I guess. Maybe that's the thing that I'm printing. The 3D printed phone holder. We've got our app over here, whatever else it might include. So the list of components is actually the main features. This is where I would identify, now I'm going to have to work with the coding group, right? This at least tells me these are the things that go on it. The materials are the things that I would need in order to actually build it. Whew, glad I got that out. So I'm going to have you guys working on this proof of concept. You're all going to need a copy of this in your notebooks. Be ready for tomorrow to sit down, and if we need anything from our app crew or if we need anything from our circuits crew, that you can have those conversations and tell them exactly what it is that you need from them so that way we can get rolling on this project. Good luck.